They called him Jesus. He came to love.
Let's grab our basic instructions before leaving Earth, and let's see what the Creator, Father God, has in store for us today.
To buy my pardon.
We are looking at Ezekiel 42. Then he brought me forth into the outer court, the way towards the north, and he brought me into the chamber that was over against the separate place which was before the building towards the north. Before the length of 100 cubits was the north door, and the breadth was 50 cubits, over against the 20 cubits which were for the inner court, and over against the pavement which was for the outer court. And a gallery was gallery against gallery, in 3 stories. And before the chambers was a walk of 10 cubits breadth inward, a way of 1 cubit, and their doors towards the north. And the upper chambers were shorter, for the galleys were higher than these, than the lower, and the middlemost of the building, for they were in 3 stories, but had not pillars as the pillars of the courts. Therefore the building was strengthened more than the lower and the middlemost from the ground. And the wall that was without, over against the chambers, towards the outer door, on the fore part of the chambers, the length thereof was 50 cubits. For the length of the chambers that were in the outer courts was 50 cubits, and lo, before the temple were 100 cubits. And from the under these chambers was the entry on the east side, as one goeth into them from the outer court. And the chambers were in the thickness of the wall, and the courts towards the east, over against the separate place, and over against the building. And the way before them was like the appearance of the chambers which were towards the north, as long as they, and as broad as they, and all their going out, both according to their fashion, and according to their doors. And according to the doors of the chambers that were towards the south was a door in the head of the way, even the very directly before the wall towards the east, as one entereth into them. Then said he unto me, the north chambers and the south chambers were more before the separate place, they be holy chambers, where the priest that approached unto the Lord shall eat the most holy things. There shall they lay the most holy things, and the meat offering, and the sin offering, and the trespass offering, for the place is holy. When the priests enter therein, then they shall not go out of the holy place into the uttermost court, but there they shall lay their garments wherein they minister, for they are holy. And they shall put on other garments, and shall approach these things which are for the people. Now when he had made an end of measuring the inner house, he brought me forth towards the gate, whose profit is towards the east, and measured it round about. He measured the east side with the measuring reed, 500 reeds, with the measuring reed round about. He measured the north side, 500 reed, with the measuring reed round about. He measured the south side, 500 reed, with the measuring reed. He turned about to the west side, and measured 500 reeds with the measurement reed. He measured it by 4 sides, and had a wall around about 500 reed, and 500 broad, and made a separation between the sanctuary and the profane place. Alright, Ezekiel chapter 43. Afterwards he brought me to the gate, even the gate that looketh towards the east. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel came from the way of the east, and his voice was like the noise of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory. Remember this, remember this. He comes from the east. And believe it or not, these right here, what I'm reading now, is really important. You may not think it is, but it is. Alright, here we go. Number 3. And it was according to the appearance of the vision which I saw, even according to the vision that I saw when I came to destroy the city. And the visions were like the vision that I saw by the river of Chidor, and fell upon my face. And the glory of God came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prophet is towards the east. All right, let's get that back. So the Spirit took me up and brought me into the inner court, and behold, the glory of the Lord filled the house. And I heard him speak unto me out of the house, and the man stood by me. And he said unto me, Son of man, the place of my throne, and the place of the soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever. And my holy name shall the house of Israel no more defile, neither they nor their kings by the whoredom, nor by the carcasses of their kings in their high places. Now remember, he's not walking the earth. He's walking in heaven. Okay? Because he brought me forth. Okay, number 8. In their sitting at their threshold, by the threshold, and the post, by the post, and by the wall, between me and them, they have even defiled my holy name, and by the abominations that they have committed. Wherefore I have consumed them in my anger. Now let them put away their whoredom, and the carcasses of their king far from me. Now let's just look at this. He wants the kings gone. I would say 9 chances out of 10, he's talking about the presidents too. And I will dwell in the midst of them forever. Thou son of man, show the house to house of Israel, that they may be ashamed of their iniquities, and let them measure the pattern. And if they be ashamed of all that they have done, show them the form of the house, and the function thereof, and the going out thereof, and the coming in thereof, and all the former things thereof, and all the ordinance thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the laws thereof, and write it in their sight, that they may keep the whole form thereof, and all the ordinance thereof, and do them. This is the law of the house upon the top of the mountain. The whole limit thereof around about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. And there are the measurements of the altar after the cubits. The cubit is the cubit and a handbreadth. Even the bottom shall be a cubit, and the breadth a cubit, and the borders thereof by the edge thereof around about shall be spun, and this shall be the higher place of the altar. And from the bottom upon the ground, even to the lower settle, shall be 2 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. And from the lesser settle, even to the greater settle, shall be 4 cubits, and the breadth of 1 cubit. Now, from what I'm understanding here, he's talking about the altar, and it is perfect that you could sit on it. All right. So the altar shall be 4 cubits, and from the altar upward shall be 4 horns, and the altar shall be 12 cubits long, 12 broad, square in the 4 square thereof. And the saddle shall be 14 cubits long, and 14 broad in their 4 squares there. No, he's talking about the table. This is the table. That up there was the altar, and now he's talking about the table. And the border about it shall be 1/2 cubit, and the bottom thereof shall be 1 cubit about, and his stairs shall look towards the east. And he said unto me, Son of man, thus saith the Lord God, those are the ordinances of the altar in the day when they shall make it, to offer burnt offering thereon, and sprinkle blood thereon. And thou shalt give to the priests and the Levites that be of the seed of Zadok, which approach unto me, to minister unto me, saith the Lord God, a young bullock for a sin offering. And thou shalt take of the blood thereof, and put it on the 4 horns of it, and on the 4 corners of the saddle, and upon the border round about. Thus shalt thou clean and purge it. Thou shalt take the bullock also of the sin offering, and he shall burn it on the appointed place of the house, without the sanctuary. And on the 2nd day thou shalt offer a kid of a goat, without blemish, for a sin offering, and they shall cleanse the altar. And they did cleanse it with the bullock. When thou hast made an end of cleaning it, thou shalt offer a young bullock without blemish, and a ram out of the flock without blemish. And thou shalt offer them before the Lord, and the priest shall cast salt upon them, and they shall offer them up for a burnt offering unto the Lord. 7 days shalt thou prepare every day a goat for a sin offering. They shall also prepare a young bullock and a ram out of the flock without blemish. 7 days shall they purge the altar and purify it, and they shall consecrate themselves. And when these days are expired, it shall be that upon the 8th day, and so after forward, the priest shall make your burnt offering upon the altar, and your peace offering, and I will accept you, saith the Lord God. So they had to take and purify it with the other animals, and then they could start doing it with everybody else. Alright, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Hugs and kisses. How to donate to PayPal. You mash on Poor Man's Sewing, and then you come up here and you look for About, and you mash on About, and right here you hit on Donate to Poor Man's Sewing. It's people like you that help me out, and it is really appreciated. And I hope you many blessings in this hard times that we are fixing to go through. A lot of hugs and kisses to you.